So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 11 of our season 4 here on the channel. Now if you didn't watch last week's episodes, go back and watch them because we had a rather successful week. We were in Canada, we got a 1-2 in Canada, and then we followed that up with Austria of course, which was the last episode, and once again got a 1-2. Pierre Gasly is looking increasingly strong in these Drivers' Championships. Let's have a quick look at the standings. In terms of constructors, we are 75 points in front of Red Bull. Who would have thought that at the start of the season? Drivers standings wise, Max Verstappen is leading, but Pierre Gasly is only 3 points behind the Dutchman. Lando Norris now the second driver at Andretti Cadillac. We are racing them equally at the moment, but if it gets to the point where one is totally outperforming the other, then we will make a decision in giving people priority. So that's the driver standings at the moment. I've seen a few comments once again about looking at the F2, so we'll just quickly go for that. Enzo Fittipaldi in the F2 is leading the F2 Championship, and in terms of F3, Frank Mack is leading from Ollie Gray as well. This weekend we head to Silverstone. Of course, this is my home race, 52 laps around here, and this should be a good one for us. Attributes, top speed is quite crucial, high speed is crucial as well. The expected strategy is a 2-stop. You can try a 1 if you really want to be ambitious, but apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, everything's been said. I'll get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Very rare we see this, but Pierre Gasly has just made a big mistake on his second run in Q2. We've been comfortably in the top 5 all weekend, and then Pierre Gasly's just done that. That's cost him his lap, and he got traffic on his first one. That is going to be Pierre Gasly out in Q2. This is it then, final laps in Q3. Lando Norris is already 0.4 of a second in front of his closest rival. He's on provisional pole position. He's not actually improving on this lap, but I would suggest that Lando Norris is going to be starting his home Grand Prix from pole position. He comes up, he crosses the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. But as we fast forward on and see what everybody else has got to offer, is anybody going to knock him off? They certainly aren't. Lando Norris has topped every qualifying session this weekend, and he will start the British Grand Prix on pole position. We are thinking of taking some engine penalties with Pierre Gasly due to his poor performance in Q2. Let's get to the strategy. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a full set of grid penalties with Pierre Gasly. So he's going to be starting at the back. We've had a fresh engine, fresh ERS and fresh gearbox. This will help us out later on. But Gasly starting at the back, starting on the softs, going onto the mediums and onto the soft. The same with Lando Norris. I expect Lando Norris to run away with this. Pierre Gasly, as we know, can do magic things when he's got to overtake a lot of cars. Let's hope he can today. Let's get to 5 red lights.
The British Grand Prix is nearly upon us. The drivers composing themselves on the grid ahead of 52 laps around Silverstone. Now I wonder, will things be going Lando Norris's way in this race?
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
This should certainly be a good one, folks. Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and we are hoping Lando Norris is going to stay in front of Russell and Perez. Russell's tried to follow him through, but Lando Norris gets away very, very well indeed. George Russell in P2, then comes Perez in P3. We're also keeping a keen eye on at the back as well. Pierre Gasly straight away starting to make moves. Alexander Albon is the first victim. We really don't want to get stuck behind these Hugo Boss cars, but Pierre Gasly not quite managing to get around the Mercedes at this moment in time. So as we started off, Lando Norris already 0.4 of a second in front of George Russell's on the medium compound tyre. Lando Norris, the only one in the top 9 who is on the soft compound tyre. Théo Pourchaire is on the softs as well. So Mick Schumacher now overtaking Théo Pourchaire. We've got a yellow flag on circuit. Pierre Gasly all the way at the bike. We've got a crash early doors. Is it going to be Alexander Albon? He certainly isn't. Let's have a look who has crashed early doors here at Silverstone. It's Théo Pourchaire. Is it Schumacher? There was a bit of overtaking going on, and it's a little love tap. It's a little bit more than a love tap, and Théo Pourchaire and Schumacher possibly both have damage. They carry on at it. It looked a little bit difficult that for the Alfa Romeo Haas team, and the calculations are going on if Théo Pourchaire will have to pit. But early doors, Pourchaire now down in P11, Mick Schumacher in P10, and they are still going at it here. And while all this is going on, we're going to take a look at Pierre Gasly making his first of many overtakes today. We hope getting past Alexander Albon. Let's have a look at this. Pierre Gasly down the inside of the Mercedes. Lovely move, and now he's got 2 Hugo Bosses to negotiate in front of him, but we know Pierre Gasly can do magic things when he's got to overtake. So lap 1, Norris leads, and he's already broken the DRS of Russell.
close
Lap
on
2, Pierre Gasly's got another scalp. He's got Nico Hülkenberg once again round the outside of the Hugo Boss. Gets that job done. He's got to make these overtakes count. Then he's going to have to push. Maybe try a couple of undercuts. We don't know quite what we're going to do in terms of the strategy today. But Pierre Gasly is doing his utmost at the moment. Now up to P18. Lando Norris, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and we are just telling him just to calm down on everything now, because Lando Norris could win this at a canter. We've had a crash on circuit, and I've got a funny feeling it's going to involve one of our drivers, Pierre Gasly, going down the inside of the Alfa Romeo Haas, and it's just a little tap once again, but Pierre Gasly manages to get past. Now we are just checking on the pit wall at this moment in time if he's got any damage. He was very upset on the radio, was Pierre Gasly, but at this moment in time we don't seem to have any damage on Gasly's car. If we just have a little look down here, no, we seem to be okay. The worst thing in the world would be to take a fresh set of engine components and then smash them into the wall. But Pierre Gasly's doing well at the moment. Lando Norris controlling from the front. You are going to see a lot of overtakes today by this man, and he's just done another one. He's passed Kimi Räikkönen in the Hugo Boss. Once again, lovely work, DRS wide open. That Andretti with a fresh set of engine components is going to be very, very quick, and you can see the next gaggle of cars that he's got to negotiate. We're on lap 5. Pierre Gasly now up into P15. He's just got Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari, who at his own Grand Prix will be wanting to do a little bit better than this for his new team. But Lewis Hamilton getting overtaken by Pierre, and he's now got a very slow Audi in front of him, which is not something you normally say when you sat in the car, is it? But he's got a very slow Audi of Mick Schumacher in front of him, and Sainz, in fact. And as we cut back to the live action, we are going to show you this because he's battling with Sainz at this moment. We're even going to switch to the cockpit cam of Pierre Gasly because he's got one Audi on his inside. He's now got another Audi of Mick Schumacher in front of him. He's already got Sainz. And as we switch back to the TV view, it looks like Pierre Gasly's negotiated 2 Audis in the space of a couple of corners. Great work from Pierre again, up to P13, nearly on the cusp of points on lap 5. Lap 7, Pierre Gasly once again overtaking a Williams. This is Liam Lawson, who obviously rumoured at the moment to be replacing Daniel Ricciardo, but Liam Lawson getting overtaken by Pierre Gasly once again. Lovely work. He's not even pushing on the tyres too much at the moment. I'm very excited to see where Pierre can finish up today, especially when he's chasing Max Verstappen, who's down in P6 at the moment. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Yuki Tsunoda in that Aston Martin doing rather well. The Aston Martin Honda doing and looking very, very quick at this moment in time. He's got Leclerc in front of him. Gap to Norris from Perez now is 5.6 seconds. Gasly's got Porsche in the Alfa Romeo. We've seen him already have a little bit of an incident, a racing incident so far, but Pierre Gasly's now got down the inside of him. Beautiful work once again from Pierre. He's then got another Williams in front of him, who he's going to be chasing down very, very shortly. As we cut back to the live action, he may even be on the back of that car at the moment. He is. Zhou Guanyu in the Williams now. This is for P10 at this moment, and Pierre Gasly's running away here. Really pushing on these tyres, but making them last as well. It's been a fantastic performance so far. Lando Norris has been conserving fuel and topping up ERS for the last 5 laps, so Lando Norris is so comfortable. And Pierre Gasly round the outside. Once again, that'll turn to the inside, and it is job done for Pierre Gasly. Within the space of 10 laps, he's gained 10 positions, and he's now in to P10 in the points. We'll now have a full rundown. It's Lando Norris with the fastest lap, leading his home Grand Prix. Then comes Checo Perez and Russell in P2 and 3. Leclerc in P4. Tsunoda in P5 with Max Verstappen all over the back of him in P6. Then Piastri, Bottas, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly with a 5.9 second gap to close on Ocon. Lap 16, we think we have seen a gap that we can get Pierre Gasly out into to try and get an undercut on this next batch of cars in front. Into the pits comes Pierre Gasly. Now this is going to be very interesting. I hope we can get out in front of Lewis Hamilton. This is what I'm hoping. If we can do that, we could be in a very, very good position. We're not pitting Lando yet. We're just pushing on at the moment. Pierre Gasly's not having the best of stops here. And this, once again, is starting to cause us problems again this season. 5-second pit stop for Pierre. It is so frustrating. I totally agree with him, because that gap that I was hoping to get him out in front of Lewis Hamilton. Where is Lewis Hamilton? He's just coming round turn 1. Pierre Gasly drops behind. He's actually going to be in a different gap now. But either way, we've just lost a couple of seconds, but Pierre can close this bike. Lando Norris will be in soon. And on lap 17, Lando Norris is into the pits. We are just going to watch this Pierre Gasly overtaking Lewis Hamilton. He's been told to use the ERS and push on these medium compounder tyres now. He's just got past the Ferrari and closing up to the next car in front of him, a car that looks to be an Audi. He's passed an Audi once already today. He's passed a couple of Audis. Let's hope he's going to make light work of passing this other one. Into the pits from the lead of the Grand Prix comes Lando Norris. Let's hope once again that we don't have a pit stop issue here. Lando Norris can probably afford it today. He's really winning this at a canter. But into the pits comes Lando Norris. Are we going to get a decent stop? It looks as though we're going to do. It's not the best, but 3.3 seconds. It's a lot smoother than Pierre Gasly's, who's still now chasing on to... he's overtaken Carlos Sainz, in fact. So that's Pierre Gasly now up into P11. Lando Norris, he's just coming out of the pit lane. We're going to watch this overtake on Carlos Sainz from Pierre Gasly. Let's have a look. DRS open, I presume. Or did he just get it done through Maggots and Beckett's? He certainly did. Fantastic by Pierre Gasly once again on that medium compounder tyre, and he gets a little bit of DRS as well just to help him along his way. Pierre Gasly now doing very, very well. He's got a few cars in front of him yet to pit. In fact, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars in front of him yet to pit, and he's pushing on well. Lando Norris just behind this Aston Martin. We had to get him in purely because of where the tyres were. We'll go attack mode now, but I would expect him to make light work of Yuki Tsunoda. Gasly, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And Pierre is just overtaking everyone. He's overtaking the Mercedes of Alexander Albon once again. Lovely work from Pierre. Medium compounder tyre, job done. And Pierre is up into P10, I believe that is. As we cut back to the live action, let's just double check. He is in P10 now, 11 seconds behind Ocon, Bottas and Tsunoda, but pushing on nicely. Not killing his tyres too much, but certainly in a very, very nice window at the moment. Lando Norris has just got past Yuki Tsunoda and working his way up towards Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look at the gap from the leader. It's 9 seconds. He's going to be around 11 seconds in front when everyone pits. Lando Norris has got Charles Leclerc. Ferrari both got DRS, but look at the traction he got round the outside. Lando Norris, lovely work from him. And he's now back chasing on the back of a McLaren. We'll have a little double check who that is. I don't believe it's Checo Perez. It's not. It's Oscar Piastri. He's up against his old teammate in his old team car. But Lando Norris, DRS wide open against Oscar Piastri. We can see from this POV, he's got the job done. And that is beautiful work once again. Max Verstappen next up. Pierre Gasly now still in P10. We do have a yellow flag on circuit. Safety car wouldn't be ideal. Let's see what's happened there. We don't want the Lando Norris overtake. We saw that live, so we're not going to watch that again. But it's tail push. Yeah, my word, he's having some day. It's tail push. Yeah, let's have a little look at this then. What does he do here? Just goes into the braking zone and just runs a little bit wide, locks up slightly, and that's going to cost him time once again. And this is a nice one for us to watch. Lando Norris, Max Verstappen has no answer to this Andretti Cadillac. He's not had the answer to it all weekend. And Lando Norris is past Max Verstappen. Must be said he is using a used gearbox this weekend, Max Verstappen. But certainly we have got the pace on him. You join us back for a pit stop issue, but just for a change, it's not ours, it's Oscar Piastri. Let's have a little look at this one. Bearing in mind, we're doing okay, Oscar Piastri. He's going onto the hard compound tyres. He is on a one-stop, but my God, is it a bad one-stop at this moment. Oscar Piastri comes out. That is a disappointing stop from the team. What's not disappointing is that George Russell has come out behind Pierre Gasly. Now, I would suggest George Russell going to the end on the hard compounder tyre, but Pierre Gasly at the moment is making these mediums last nicely. He's just conserving his fuel a little bit. Lando Norris has got to stop again when possibly some other cars around him haven't, but Norris will win this Grand Prix, providing we make no mistakes. But Pierre Gasly, maybe a podium? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments what you think at this stage in the Grand Prix. But lap 24, Norris still leads. You join us back on lap 28. George Russell on the hard compounded tyre. Remember, not stopping again, has just got past Pierre Gasly. Bearing in mind, Pierre Gasly in P3 now after everyone has pit. He's in P3, obviously still got to stop again, but Pierre Gasly at the moment looking very, very good for some decent points today. When he started at the back, you can't complain at that at all. Lando Norris is now 17 seconds in front of Checo Perez. It's looking very, very good indeed for Lando Norris. We're not even pushing on the tyres at the moment. We can extend this stint a little bit. But Pierre Gasly now just sticking with George Russell, and this will do him no harm at all. And to say Pierre Gasly's still fighting with George Russell, what he's done beautifully, he's just tagged onto the back of the DRS of the Red Bull car, and he's been a fantastic drive from Pierre so far, around the outside, and now he's just causing the Red Bull a few problems as well. He's coming in 2 or 3 laps time, is Pierre Gasly, so we're excited to hopefully get a decent pit stop, but once again, he's doing so well. Lando Norris, if he pit now, would come out just behind George Russell, so we're just pushing him on a little bit, because we'd like to get him out in front of George Russell and then just push on towards the end. But Pierre Gasly, similarly, pushing on at the moment, and has got a very, very important stint on softs coming up. Into the pits comes Pierre Gasly. We've been pushing like mad because we want to come out in front of Bottas and Tsunoda. This is key in this race. Lando Norris, we are just going to tell him that he's pitting at this lap onto a set of soft compound tyres, so you can see a little bit of behind the scenes, what you don't normally see there. But Pierre Gasly is coming in. Let's have a decent stop, boys. And it's not a bad one. 3 seconds. Best stop of the day. Pierre Gasly now. Where is he going to come out? Where is Valtteri Bottas and Yuki Tsunoda? They're just coming around the final chicane. Pierre Gasly should be out clear of them. Leclerc's passed him. But now, Pierre Gasly in P7 on a set of fresh, soft compound tyres with 15 laps to go should be looking rather promising. There was a back marker there as well, but Pierre now can push to the end. He's saved all his fuel. It is hammer time for Pierre. Lando in this lap. And this, obviously, is quite an important pit stop as well, because Lando Norris now trundling in through the pit lane. Can he possibly get out in front of Checo Perez, and that can be job done? We can just then manage the tyres towards the end. That would be absolutely ideal, but let's see what happens here. Is it going to be a decent pit stop from the Andretti guys? It doesn't look a bad one once again. 3 seconds, we'll take it. We will certainly take it. Now, where is Checo Perez? Checo Perez just coming around the final chicane. Did he have a little moment there, Perez? Because he jumped up massively. Where is Lando Norris going to come out? Is he going to come out in front of Checo Perez? It looks like he certainly is. Lando Norris out in clean air, back in the lead of the Grand Prix on the soft compounder tyre. That should be it, ladies and gentlemen. That should be job done for Lando. Pierre Gasly already pushing on and catching Charles Leclerc. And Pierre Gasly starting the charge towards possibly a podium, managing to get Oscar Piastri round the outside. Lovely work. Once again, this is what we love to see Pierre Gasly doing, just carving his way through the field. And he's now attacking the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look as we cut back to the live action. We've got Lando Norris currently pushing for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's going to be a big one if Lando Norris can get that. But Pierre Gasly now is on the back of Charles Leclerc. And then he's got Verstappen a further 3 seconds up the road. Anything is possible for Pierre Gasly today. We're just making sure we're just calming down on the tyres. But Lando Norris pushing on for fastest lap. We'll have a full rundown. It's Norris from Perez, and Russell and Verstappen in 3 and 4. Leclerc P5, Gasly P6 with the fastest lap. Piastri 7th, Bottas 8th, and then the two Aston Martins of Tsunoda and Ocon, P9 and 10. Pierre Gasly has got Charles Leclerc, and as you can see at the top, Lando Norris has just set a 1:28.1. Fantastic from Lando Norris. We were on a push lap, but my word, has he pushed. But Pierre Gasly, lovely work. He's got Charles Leclerc, and now he's chasing down 2 Red Bulls, which is going to be absolutely of the utmost importance. He's got 10 laps to close 2 seconds to Verstappen, and then a further 4 seconds to Russell. Could he possibly even get P2 here? Don't write Pierre Gasly off. Lando Norris just calming down on the tyres now. He's 11 seconds in front of Perez. It's all looking good. Pierre Gasly has got Max Verstappen. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to name this episode yet, but it's looking very much like the Pierre Gasly show, isn't it, ladies and gents? But Lando Norris has made it easy today. Pierre Gasly, because of his mistake in Q2, has had to make it a bit more difficult. But I tell you what, he's made it a very entertaining episode. Pierre Gasly now, as we cut back to the live action, he's on the back of George Russell now. And we're just going to calm down on the tyres. We've got a yellow flag on circuit. That's hopefully nothing to do with any of us. But let's ride on board with Pierre Gasly. Could he possibly? He didn't get DRS. And it was Checo Perez. Oh my goodness. Checo Perez running wide. Let's have a little look at this. In the McLaren, under no pressure at all, just runs wide. And what that's going to do is bring it back into play for Pierre Gasly for possibly a 1-2. But he's got to get past. He has got to get past this Red Bull of George Russell quickly, and then he will have 7 laps to attack Checo Perez, who's on very used hard compounded tyres. 1-2 incoming. Pierre Gasly has overtaken George Russell, and it's took him a little bit longer to do it than he'd hoped, but he's managed to get past him, and he's now into P3, and you can see in front there's a McLaren, and bright orange McLaren, a papaya McLaren waiting to be overtaken. Pierre Gasly now is going to be told to deploy, push on the fuel and get up towards this McLaren, because if he can catch Checo Perez, this could be one of the best 1-2s of our team principal career. Lap 48. Lap 48. Pierre Gasly has overtaken Checo Perez. And as things stand, it is a 1-2 again. Unbelievable. I'm lost for words on Pierre Gasly. I can't tell you how good a performance this has been. We are now just going to tell him to push on and try and get away from Checo Perez, which he's doing. He's just hanging on to the DRS at the moment, but his tyres must be nearly dead. They are. Perez's tyres are dead. We've got the softs. It should be job done, ladies and gents. You join us back on the final lap of the Grand Prix because, ladies and gentlemen, there was nothing else to show you after that. Lando Norris is just coming around the final sector in front of his home fans. 24 seconds in front of Pierre Gasly, and what a performance from Lando Norris. We're going to switch to the commentary on Pierre in a minute, but let's just take a moment. Lando Norris, fastest lap, pole position, it's the Grand Slam for the weekend. Lando Norris wins the British Grand Prix, but my word, the focus has got to be on him. But let's have a look at this, because Pierre Gasly, what a moment, what a drive from the back of the grid. Pierre Gasly is second on the podium. Unbelievable scenes from Pierre Gasly. This has been one of the best drives, and he comes home second. It's 1-2 for Andretti Cadillac, and my word, these Red Bulls must be thinking, this team of engineers, this team principal, the drivers, everything, probably apart from the pit crew, is getting it right at Andretti. My word, let's get to the podium because this is a special one for the team.
What a remarkable drive by Lando Norris today.
That was a really well-executed race, I thought. Major credit to the driver, the pit wall, and the whole team for that win.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
It gets even better for the team, with both drivers scoring a podium finish this weekend.
Checo Perez looking incredibly despondent there, it must be said. And what a moment it has been for the team. Our two guys on top of the world. Checo Perez was miles away. Possibly could have been second if he'd have managed to not make that mistake. I think that really cost him. But ladies and gentlemen, 1-2 at my home Grand Prix. You love to see it. And I think driver of the day, do we think anybody apart from Pierre Gasly there? 18 position gained. Lando Norris won with the fastest lap. 18 positions. I can't even get. Just say it again. 18 positions gained. Perez in third. Russell fourth. Verstappen fifth. Then comes Piastri, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Bottas and Ocon. The Aston Martins are looking pretty handy at the moment. Albon gained 8 positions up to P11. Lewis Hamilton P14. And then Schumacher, Porsche, Raikkonen and Hülkenberg had a very bad day at the office indeed. Drivers standings wise, Lando Norris is back on top of the driver's standings. 214 points there. He's 2 points between him and Pierre Gasly. A further 5 points to Max Verstappen. Andretti Cadillac are now 1-2 in the driver's standings. So as you would suggest, in the constructors, we're doing rather well. It is nearly 100 points. It's 98 points if you want to be exact between Andretti Cadillac and Red Bull at the moment. McLaren in P3. Ladies and gentlemen, the domination continues. Are we going to, in our final season on F1 Manager 23, win both drivers and constructors titles? Let me know down in the comments. I believe we go to Hungary next, and we are hungry for more. See you later.